What's up, everyone? I got a request. Well, I put out a poll on Instagram to do some match reviews from the latest ADCC trials that was on the West Coast this past weekend. So it just happened to be that flograppling put up the 66 kilogram finals match on YouTube. So that's what I'm going to be looking at here today. That is Cole Abate versus Kieth Kirkorian. Spoiler alert, Kieth wins, although I have not watched this match through, so it'll be the first time for me as well. Let's take a look. Alright, gonna turn the announcers off because it gets in the way. Alright. Wrestling, hand fighting expected from both these guys. Pretty measured. Again, not surprising. Collar ties. I don't think that was a legit attempt. Arm drag attempt there. That was legit. Good shot. Good sprawl. In. Kind of shallow. The body lock defense doesn't look like that front headlock. Oh. No, not tight. No. Alright, into like a De La Riva type of position. This is something you'll most definitely see a lot of. It's become quite popular. And that is kind of interesting with that. Flipping that foot in front, almost like a false reap. They're not quite. You see that is stopping the advancement from this angle around the side here. So this foot pushing there. Right, into a half guard position. Almost down to De La Riva on the other side. Okay, this grip here is quite good. This is something I've been playing with a little bit myself. I'm not a super savvy De La Riva player or for matrix guard types of things, but you see a similar grip here. Obviously, they're not wearing pants, so you can't make that grip in the back of the knee, what would be in the back of the knee. However, when you're reaching around, similar to like a berimbolo or K-guard types of things, if you can get this arm really deep around your own leg, almost to your own shin, that's a pretty solid grip. It gives you really, really strong, really tight pressure and control of their leg. Almost like you would have a pant grip in the back of their knee. Right, it's too far away for this pass. See an inversion coming here. In on a leg, but it's shallow. Okay, fighting for hip control here. Now this is a good adjustment. You see he had a. I bet the knee brace here gave a little bit of traction, and you never know like how sweaty they are and stuff. This is not a bad lock for control. You can see the adjustment here. He steps over, and it's much deeper than when Cole is much deeper than when he initially rolled in. So you can see they're too far away for this pass, and he rolls in to attack the leg. And he's not that deep. You can see his butt is quite far away from the hips, and not exactly, the knee line isn't sucked like up under to Cole's belly button. And then if we fast forward a little bit, you can see, I'll step over in a second here. Okay, you can see that it's still not super deep, but the knee is much closer to Cole's side of like this tug of war than like outside, like past his butt, if you can see my mouse here. Well, that was a pretty good counterattack here. Let's take a look at that. Alright. Alright, so it looks like we're getting into like almost like a backside 50. Okay, and I can't turn my whole screen over, but you can see how pretty quickly this turned from like a knee bar. I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see it. Sorry, I'm not used to these screen records, you can tell. Okay, with the mouse, if we were flipped over here, we might be attacking shirtless. Cole here might be attacking Kieth's knee on the knee bar, and that's a similar position to when we were here. Now you can see when they're flipped over, what happens is this leg right here gets pulled to the outside, and then that's the one that's getting attacked. So that's Cole's right foot, I believe. I might be wrong about this, but I think it's his right foot. Oh, I am. It's the left one. Okay, but the principles were the same. You can see they did turn into a 50-50 guard. The principles were the same. He's looking to control this, move to, Kieth is looking to move to like a 50-50 type of position here. So he doesn't want this leg to get stepped over unless he can get his leg free, which he does. Alright, the timing on this a little off. Here, right, you see he got the legs to the outside, so this makes a difference when he steps over then. It was good knee. Sorry, the knee position is good. Looks like we've got some good hand fighting here to avoid the hip control. Okay, the grips are shallow. It's good looking out for lots of counterattacks. Both these guys, not surprising. That's definitely something I've been stressing in the classes that I've been teaching, mostly for myself to remember. I think Danaher put out a video on it recently, but emphasizing counterattacks off of escapes. And back to like an outside, excuse me, open guard. Does not have that De La Riva hook in. Okay, elected for half guard here. You can see, of course, a battle for inside control on. So we've got this knee shield battle, of course, classic half guard, and then we've got a battle for the underhook on this. Excuse me, this inside arm. On Cole's left arm, looking for an underhook there, but also a similar battle on the outside here, controlling this arm because that's what protects this elbow and knee space right here on the floor side. Okay, so you can see Kieth's knee is up here. It will make a huge difference in this battle if he cuts it into the inside, and Kieth's knee here with the knee pad can beat Cole's bottom leg to Cole's hip here. So that's why this battle is so important with this outside arm, even though there always is a lot of emphasis on the other side, the inside. Okay, there it is. You can see exactly what I was talking about. Cut to the inside. It was not able to keep it there. Right, and just so everybody remembers, if you're not familiar with ADCC rules, the first 5 minutes are submission only, so there are no points for the first 5 minutes. Right, you can see this sort of Aoki lock starting to set up. Personal favorite of mine. And sometimes this is good. Let's go back to that for a second here. This may not get a finish, but man, you can put a lot of pressure on somebody's foot such that it turns the rest of their body, and you might be able, look at this, both guys, head to toe, laying on their sides. I mean, I'm picking this apart, freeze frame, but you know, some of these submissions create opportunities, even if they're not air quote legitimate submissions. You're not going to finish the person. A lot of times you do still have the leverage and mechanics to induce a response from them. Getting close to the boundary here. ADCC rules. I say we like I was there. You fight on the. Oh, that was a good stomp. Good push off. All fair play. Just some good hard grappling here. Time to blast. Referee is not going to mind that at all. Because like I was saying, we fight on the hardwood. You don't stop until the ref tells you to stop. Back to that half guard position. This is a good angle on the other side. What I was talking about was the underhook here. You can see, looks like Kieth is trying to set up. He's got this like leg weave kind of pass going on, so he's not too worried about the underhook because he's controlling the legs, or possibly to set up a leg attack. More likely to try to deal with the control that Cole has. With this sort of traditional, not quite a lockdown position, but a figure forward half guard. You see, he came back to the armpit then. All right, close guard with the underhook. It's almost like a waiter sweep, probably looking like drop this knee inside for a K-guard type of entry. You see that that's the post I was talking about. Even though they're back in like a closed guard position, posting to the armpits. We do have to be careful with the threat of sweeps here. You can see this leg is far enough back that it would be a big shift in position for this arm to make it all the way around to this leg with the red sweatband on it, or tape. This is the armband for the marker, sorry. Red fighter. Okay. Let's run that back because we did end up with a sweep here, even though there are no points. So it looks like Kieth let it go to the ground, but again, stepping over forward. This is a very similar position to where they were earlier, where Cole is looking for this knee bar, Mikey lock type of thing. Okay, and this is where they went to 50-50 before, because this top leg here got dragged to the outside here. And you see, retracted that and came up on top, and that's how we got there. Okay. Body lock, frames. So I'm really a fan. This has become quite popular as well as body lock style of passing. Really some good old fashioned catch wrestling here, wrestling people down to the mat, but also wrestling up and keeping them down, keeping control with this sort of body lock from behind. It's quite good. You see some very good advancement in position here. If we think about just a little bit ago, this is the arrangement they were in. to a standing pass here. He's about to stand up. To a standing pass, to a sweep, to a scramble, to on top, body lock to pass. And the reason that is so good is because it gives immediate exposure to the back. The back is defended, but Cole still ends up chest to chest with the pin on top. I need to get a better setup here if I'm going to do this with like a highlighter mouse trail kind of thing, maybe. All right, frames on the hips. We're looking to get separate the chest space and get those knees back inside. You can see that frame pressure here to try to get that knee inside. Good job of stopping the hips here. You see the one knee is back. Okay. All right, this will be interesting to see here. For the first half of this match, Cole was mostly on bottom. Now we'll see Kieth's bottom game here. Oh, let's run that back. That was interesting. All right. All right, so we have this like not quite like a wrestling sit out type of position. See, Kieth is coming belly down here, looking for some sort of Kimura type of attack here. All right, so this would be from like a cross-body turtle type of arrangement. That might have been kind of close. All right. We've got this triangle over top. The camera angle is, I can't quite see. What happened was this arm that's going to come out here, this arm right here, is going to be a lever that when he comes around the top, he still has this arm. It's Kieth's right arm. And then we are triangled over the with the right side of the body controlled, so the left arm is out. That's the one you're triangled over, not control of. Oh, here we go. Okay, this arm stayed inside. Good, real good defense here then. All right, so even though this arm is going to get taken, just like your feet are friends and they protect each other, your hands are friends, and there, that's what kind of saved it. This arm came right back inside to help its friend out. And we can start to get out of this, break this triangle apart then. All right? Or at least enough that we end up in a different position, not getting finished. I do like the step over option opposed to the roll through. You see that was countered as well. We've got like a head triangle here. No arm. All right, back to that turtle type of position. Well, it is a turtle position. If they were reversed, this would have been the arm that got attacked before. The one on the far side of the body. We see a seatbelt here, but no. Oh, we're trying to get legs in, hooks into control, right to a body triangle. All right, the camera angle is a little dark here. I can't really see the grips that are set up. It's quite good exposure as far as like opening the stomach. Right here, when this hook came over and this one came right in. He's onto his side. That's usually preferable for the bottom person. But now back to belly down. This is not looking good. And we're back to that arm. So this is very similar to where they ended up before. Except Cole's butt would have been off to the side. And instead of being on Kieth's back, he would have been off to the side in like a turtle position. Just going to initiate a similar arm attack here. There. Alright, and what Kieth had done before was keep his hands together, which they are, and start to separate the feet. It is a little bit different. This is like a traditional armbar rather than this leg here that my mouse is on being around the back of the head. And then this one that's in the armpit being over the chest. So that would have ended up in like a triangle. This is both legs on the chest side. Alright, so I would look for, this is a deep defense. These legs are going to need to be separated. So I look for this red banded leg to step over this armpit sided leg here. You can see the feet crossed there. We'll slow that down. Alright, looks like you just pulled at the elbow. And I say pulled at the elbow because if you pull at the shoulder, it straightens your arm and you give them the arm bar. That's the second time this has happened. I think that's a great strategy here. So Cole bucks his hips up like as soon as the position is busted. All right, the escape is out. It's out. I mean, this is less than a second. As soon as the escape is out, he bucks his hips. All right, this may or may not turn into an omoplata. But he bucks his hips to push them away, to create space. A minute ago I talked about counterattacks off your own escapes. So when your attacks fail, initiating a defense right away or having a countermeasure in place. The hips are going to make it hard for Cole's hips here, bridging up, is going to make it hard for Kieth to initiate an attack off of the escape. What's even better is that he doesn't stop with the hips. He's going to kick him in the chest again. Boom. Now we're into a scramble. So yes, you blew. Well, you didn't blew. They defended your attack, but you also didn't allow them the chance to re-attack off of that. So you recognize your broken position and right away went into, in this case, disengaging if an attack wasn't available. And now you would be back on top. If points were in play, which they will be in. Oh, they must be doing. Sorry, I think I misspoke on the rules. They must just be doing points for a 5-minute match. For the trials here. All right, let me just take a quick peek at the comments. All right. Solid match. I have to say, that was indeed the finals. Man, if I was reffing that, in ADCC, the refs do not make the decisions, which is a good thing. All the decisions are left to the judges' table. The ref is just there to maintain safety and things like that, relative safety. I really liked. So Kieth's defense was really good. Man, this would be a tough one to call for me. In terms of initiating offense, I kind of disagree with the judges here. I feel like Cole initiated a lot more offense, a lot more substantial offense as well. We had two of these scenarios that they weren't really close. They were very legitimate attacks. And the only real threat from Kieth was that early backside 50 that I can recall offhand here. Again, this is just the first time I'm running through this, the first time I've watched this match, so I may have missed something. Go ahead and flame me. I don't care. Yeah. And I really like this bucking the hips and then bucking the hips to push them away and then springboarding yourself. So almost like a kangaroo going back on his tail. I think that comes up. It's pretty close here. But, yeah, that like springing back. So opening your hips, opening your hip hinge, and then once they bounce back down, you kick them away. I really like that. I was quite impressed. Cole is only like 16 years old. Somebody pointed out in the comments here he's been training since he was like 6. So, don't be very impressive from a very young man. Of course, don't be misconceived about his skill level though. So, all right. That was my first ADCC review, just because I didn't plan on recording one today, but it happened to pop up right here on YouTube. Cheers. Train hard, train smart, stay radical, guys.